You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of New York City After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of New York City After Show.
80s chicks. Or maybe it's 90s.
This is 80s.
Yeah,
this is 80s.
Oh, I thought you said 90s or 80s?
80s.
Okay, good. I was like, this is definitely 80s.
The bangs.
Just get a neon scrunchie in your ponytail.
Here comes.
And this side, yeah. Okay, girls.
Sorry, we had to get that part. Oh, goosebumps everywhere.
Carol wasn't born in the
So
80s.
Nothing's gonna stop Harry and Sonia now.
Nothing.
Maybe except Luann.
Except Luann.
I think nothing's gonna stop Harry from messing it up.
Except for editing.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what he says. That's what he tweeted.
Yes, that's what she said. All right. Hi, guys. I'm Ashley Daniels here for another Real Housewives of New York City after show. And please, Anna C., don't tune out. I'll try not to talk too much tonight. Who am I with, everybody?
Hey guys, I'm Stephanie McGrath.
Hi there, I'm Lyndsey Wegner.
And Courtney Henderson.
Woohoo! Fabulous. Episode 19.
Woo.
Has it been that many?
We're almost there.
journey.
One last episode, the Big Bang.
The Big Bang.
I mean, the Big Bang. I really...
It might have been.
right? Maybe there was a bang at the end with Luann. I don't know. I don't feel like
We
she
do
would do
see
that.
a leg. Have we not seen that before?
Aviva?
Yeah, Aviva's leg on the
That
ground.
has been-
We've seen that in other episodes.
That's been from the preview, from however long they've had the promo running for Housewives of New York.
That's
Has
right.
been in the promo. So they saved it for the final episode, knowing that was going to cause
leg's
most
gonna
heat.
go.
But I've been waiting for that leg for 19 episodes, and we got one more.
I can't believe how real the toes look.
They do.
I know.
It's great.
I really was staring at both her feet for like an
can't
extra
tell.
minute just to, because I couldn't tell. The one was stiff because it's like sitting up like this a little
Yeah,
bit more.
and hers is was like a natural hang kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, the natural hang, yeah. I would take one of those feet over mine. I have like a bunion on one of my feet. I don't even like my feet. I mean, they have pretty feet. They make them pretty, and you don't have to worry about any, like, I don't know, ingrown toenails or
Okay, look,
anything.
ladies, I still
All right, fine.
think I'll still keep my real leg.
That's enough
All right.
on feet.
I mean, yeah, of course, but that's nice that it looks so real. All right. First part. So we got to see our good friend Eric Goldie. Shout out to you, Eric. We love you. And we were waiting for this episode because he told us about it months ago. And he helped Heather plan Carol's birthday extravaganza. So that was the first thing we saw, all of them planning. And I love knowing that Carol really did have a ton of input into it, and she had to get her manicure there so she could watch what was going on.
Yeah.
I love Carol. Like, this episode, I fell even more in love with her than watching her before, and when she came in, it just, with the toast, which we'll get to, but it just was one of those where, yeah, I just love her. Like, she's the kind of person that I feel like I would love to, like, she was somebody I would want as a mentor. Because, like, I would aspire to be she's fabulous, she's graceful, she's she's the whole package as a woman, you know what I mean?
I think she does. Like, her and Heather's relationship, I think, is beautiful.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Heathers are such a good, you could just tell, like, when they look at each other, they're so in love with each other. They're just best friends.
Absolutely.
I love that. Okay, how cute was that dog that Sonia was with tonight at the dog store?
Cute.
The most original name. Courtney and I like the dog store. Great name.
Cute for a dog, but also cute seeing for the first time ever. And the little, blurb underneath it said Harry
like
was
the
Sonia's
nameplate.
boyfriend.
Predictions, ladies. What are we thinking? Can he commit?
No.
I don't want to jinx it. Oh, it's
don't
already
either.
happened.
Sorry, I already jinxed it. I guess by saying no right away.
I don't see it long term.
Honestly, it's because I actually feel like Sonia will, like, scare herself out of it before she actually gives Harry a chance to mess it up.
She proves that.
That, like, she took the ring off before the evening even ended. And so it's one of those where I feel like we'll never know if Harry actually was willing to and wanting to, because Sonia will like self-sabotage it because she just gets too nervous. That's my guess. My chair is sinking.
Self-sabotage. Don't go.
Feel
It's
it
quicksand.
lower and lower.
I was like, I wish
She's like,
I ate a big lunch, maybe.
I'm in the
Anyway.
elevator going down here.
we're going down with you.
Very cute. Obviously, they've been together for 18 years. Like Sonia said, there hasn't been that commitment yet. It hasn't happened just yet. But she hopes that it could in the future.
Right,
And
they've been together for 18 years.
18 years.
Doing the off and on thing
off
and dating
and
other
on,
people.
what's good- yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, something's keeping them close. Something's keeping them going back together.
Well,
What is
so
that?
that means if they said 18 years, she always says that they dated. That they
25
years ago.
Yeah.
So they only went, what's that math, you guys? 7 years? Not at
Yeah.
all dating when Sonia was married? I thought Sonia was married for longer than that.
She's had a couple. No, she hasn't actually.
I know, she's just, because she's a
Yeah.
kid too, so.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sure. But anyway, it's super cute to see them together and to see her saying, hey, if we get this dog together, I want you to take it on walks. It needs to, we need to take it out and do things. And he starts joking, saying it's coming to dinner and all this stuff.
I
But
pictured it. I thought it would look cute. I pictured them as a little
I
family.
can see them doing that.
Yeah.
They're both so, like, just fun and out there, but they would be doing that.
And
so.
a foo-foo pretty little dog. Right?
Oh,
Puppy
totally.
Like that,
And a
yeah.
little carrier and everything.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
god. Oh, I love that dog. What kind of dog was that?
Some sort of poodle or
I don't. They were saying
something.
poodle. I
Yeah.
remember them talking about poodles.
Oh,
but
so cute.
I'm so bad at
mix.
Me
of
too.
dog
something.
names or dog types.
Multi-poo,
Something like
probably.
that.
Yeah.
Ball.
Fluff ball.
There we go. That's a technical term.
Yes, technical, scientifically.
Yes.
So cute. And I do think that she is so happy when she's with him. She just has a glow. She's always happy when she's around Harry. But everybody's happy when they're around Harry.
That's a problem. That's his charm. That is his charm.
And he's happy too. All right, then we get into Josh and Kristen going to the therapist. And she admits beforehand that she's nervous.
First of all, can we just talk about what she wore to the
Love Me
therapist's
Tender,
office?
the Elvis song.
And it's like, it was one of those where I'm like, I loved the sweatshirt, but I'm like, I feel like this is, you're already just like trying to subtly get in the like, he's aggressive, or you know what I mean? Like, you want the therapist to see, I don't know, that's how I felt.
Passive aggressive.
That's
I did think it passive aggressive. I couldn't think of the word. I kind of think it was like
I didn't even know
intentional.
I didn't even know.
I thought.
I didn't know it was an Elvis song.
Oh,
but,
Love Me Tender, yeah.
but like, well, I mean, that didn't come to mind until you guys said it.
Was he not wearing his e-boost thing?
He was.
Oh, he
So
was.
he was signifying
Absolutely.
that.
Oh my God.
You want to get really particular, really
Both about themselves.
He was talking about, this is my business. That was the first thing that was brought up. She doesn't understand. She's just like, just love me tender. And he's like, honey, I run a business, girl. You understand it.
Oh my God, that is
Isn't that
so
hilarious?
We just created
I know.
crazy.
Probably wasn't there.
That's
Just by
awesome,
what they're
though.
wearing.
Makes sense.
The thing I really, I mean, I've never been to therapy of any kind, so I don't know
Come see me.
how. I will. Oh my goodness, I will. I don't know what I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. So, anyways, no, but I don't know how typical that is, or if they're all different, and it just depends. But I really liked that before they got into anything, he had them talk about the things that are working well and the things that are strong and positive in their relationship, to just have a good kind of unifying moment about
What they like
their
about each
marriage.
other.
Yeah, to remind themselves, these are all the things we love. This is why we're still together. This is why we're here to make this better. I kind of feel like, I mean, I don't know if they all do that, but I just thought that was a really good technique.
Yes.
And it was fun to see them, because we haven't seen that side of them very much, if ever, to kind of let them acknowledge that, yes, we do actually love each other. There are things here that are worth preserving and
Yes.
protecting.
I love that he said she puts the kids first.
Always, in every circumstance.
As a positive thing.
Yeah, I know. And I you could see her hurt, and I couldn't believe the therapist actually said this, but because I would think that he would be a little more neutral. Not that it wasn't a neutral thing, but just because she was so sensitive. But he was like, so what would be the ideal situation when you're at dinner and he gets a phone call? What do you, because you're saying you want to support him, but you obviously are kind of trying to do both. And she was like, well, I just want him to communicate with me that he's not going to be able to talk, that he's not going to be able, that he's going to have to have a phone call and he can't talk to me at that moment and he has to walk away. And he's like, so you're saying if you do that, you won't be upset. All he needs to do is just say that. And I totally agreed. It's just that she wants to know that he knows that it bothers her and that he is aware of that and he is sorry.
It's just acknowledgement.
It's exactly what you and I were talking about last week with setting kind of this example right away with your boyfriend and saying, I don't like this. This is what I need. And then they respond to it.
You sent me the text. Oh my God, I died.
Because my boyfriend was, sorry to get off topic, guys, but my boyfriend my boyfriend was running late last Thursday, and he's like, hey, it's going to be a little bit later than I thought. It's not going to be 10 o'clock. It's going to be 10:30. Is that okay? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, Ash, look, see,
I got this text at midnight. I died. I was like, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
But
I love it.
Exactly the same thing.
When you set those boundaries right away, then they can't be taken advantage of. Yeah. So this is something they clearly should have set, or maybe they did years ago and it kind of never really came up, and now it's coming back into play.
Yeah, exactly.
But what you said about Josh saying that Kristen putting the kids first is a major priority, that does show that their relationship is a priority, but he's just not acting like that because he's making work a priority. He's saying it, but he's not doing it. Right. He's not showing the actions, and actions have to speak louder than the words.
Have you ever read what book is it? I think oh my gosh, it's like Act Like a Woman, Think Like a Man.
I
think it's in that book. Act Like
a Man, Think Like a
one of those books, but
it'll probably Act Like a Man, Think Like a Woman.
Act Like a Man, Think Like a Woman.
Yes. No. Think Like a Man.
Act Like a Woman. Think Like
Act
a Man.
Like a Lady, Think Like a Man.
Yeah.
Look Like a Man, Act Like a Woman?
No.
Okay.
It's a Steve Harvey. It's a Steve Harvey book, right?
Guys, comment down below if you know what the book says.
Steve Harvey book, right?
Yes, it's Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's Think Like a Man, and it talks about like a man's priority, and like the first thing on their brain is providing and making the money. And so he probably actually thinks that he is doing the right thing and that he is supporting his family and showing love for them by being at work because he is making money for their survival. Now he doesn't ever communicate that or say it that way.
But you're talking about is coming from a primal. I mean, I know they've written the different relationship books, and that's one particular area where it's really evolutionary primal forces that we have in, subconsciously we don't even realize the male and female giving off. And
I think it's that, because I don't even think that he necessarily recognizes that, that that's why the business is so important. But I feel like seeing what he said about Kristen and how her priority with the family and the kids is something that he really admires her for, it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe this is his way of giving to the family, and he just can't communicate that that's his way of showing appreciate, just that's his way of kind of like putting the family first, because to her it doesn't feel like the family comes first ever.
I definitely think a couple more therapy sessions for them is super beneficial. I think even this first therapy session, now we didn't really get to see them one-on-one aside from the party for just a very, very brief moment, but I think going to this therapist and bringing kind of how she's feeling, and as a therapist more so had to tell him than her, don't say what she's doing wrong. Say how you feel and how it affects you. And that's a major thing when you're arguing or having a conversation with somebody. You can't blame somebody else. You have to say I statements so that you don't put it on the other person. So I think the more that they go to these therapy meetings and sessions, the more they're going to both be better in their relationship. And I think their relationship, for the most part, really could work out then.
Do you think that if it was as simple as him just communicating, like, I'm going to be late and stuff, that if that was the case, that it would be solved with just that? No. Couldn't that have already been done? Yeah. Like, wouldn't you think he just would be like, let's do that? Because it's easier than going to therapy?
He says that he can't call her or text her and say, I'm going to be late, or this call's running over, which may or may not be true, but I think that right now, because she's getting nothing, she thinks that that will be enough and she'll be happy. Because I've said that before. Like, I used to tell my boyfriend, when he'd be going out on a Friday night and I knew that he'd be, going out with the guys and they'd be getting drunk and, whatever they're doing, that I wouldn't hear from him at the end of the night. And so I'm like, just call me for 5 minutes before you go out and it'll be fine. And he would, and then it would be 20 minutes and then I'd, want to talk longer, and he'd be like standing outside the bar and all of his friends went in. And so he's like, well, I love you, but I don't really want to call you before I go out because I'm going to be an hour late to hang out with my friends if I call you for 5 minutes. And so I could see, and we've worked on that, and I could see that kind of being the thing with her, where it's like, as soon as he calls to say I'm going to be 30 minutes late, it's not going to be, okay, see you then. It's going to be, why? Well, why can't you make it? Why isn't it and it's going to be somewhat of the same thing. Maybe not every time, but still some of the time. And he's going to be like, well, this is why I don't call, because now I'm going to be an hour late because I spent 30 minutes arguing with you about being late and 30 minutes on my call.
Well,
right.
I don't know. What they made it seem like actually was when he's there. That's how I felt like I saw a little bit more of it, is the therapist is saying, so when you're there, tell her, I have to take this phone call. I'm going to be a little bit late. That's what they made it seem like. So it's almost as if when he's there and telling her about him being late, okay, that she'll take that, she'll be accepting of that and go, okay, you can take that phone call for a half hour, whatever you need to do. It didn't seem like it was when he's at work, because like we all saw, he doesn't ever tell her when he's at work because he's doing a million things and he can't get a hold of her.
Is there a chance that if he does comply to all of this, that she will still be upset about something? Is there a chance at all about that?
I think there's a lot more to be looked at. I know we're just looking at this phone call, and there's a lot more under the, relationship and things like, that they're going to need to work through.
Like what?
And, substantially, but we're not going to say it. They're not going to, and nor should, and I really hope they don't. I've really just, some recent stuff that I saw with the new Jersey Housewives, I know it's different.
Oh, don't spoil it. I haven't seen it.
No, but there just needs to be a line where people bring their family and their really personal issues onto television. Anyway, everyone knows my feelings about Dr. Drew and their whole intervention thing, and there's just stuff that doesn't need to be shown the whole world. So we're not going to say it. Hopefully we will not say it.
I don't even know what you're going to... Can you tell me after?
No, but it's one of those where it's like, we don't need to see every therapy session of theirs on camera.
Yeah.
That's the
but
point
they
you're
did
making.
sign up for that,
though. It's lighthearted, and you say she's going to agree to this, and we'll just see this phone call thing, and then we'll just leave it at that.
Like the Tori and Dean show, you saw every single bit and piece of their relationship, and that stuff that you're right, we don't need to see as viewers. There is some stuff that you want to keep private.
It's still not 100% real, so it's always going to persuade.
Sure.
Yeah, totally. All right, well, we'll get off of that subject. And it looks like they are going to be able to, at some point, work through a good balance. Yeah, because they're trying, and you can't go too wrong with that, and they're in therapy. All right, so we see Avery and Ramona in Avery's room, and Avery seems stressed out. I don't think I've ever seen Avery stressed out in my entire time of watching New York Housewives. And she's always pretty calm.
Ramona's trying to do... What are they, like, breathing exercises? I'm like, that's going to stress me out more. If you're sitting there, breathe, hold it, out, in. You're like,
how can any child, though, honestly, she's certainly taken on a lot of Mario's characteristics. How can you be calm when you have a mum like that? And when she's even in the car and,
Ramona's crying.
And she's crying. She's like, I've been with her every day. I was like, oh, that poor child, run, go. You're going to experience life like you've never known it before. I know it's always old mums' cups, they're like, oh, I'm losing my baby, but I can just see her going loose.
Kind of hope she comes back with a tattoo or piercing or something.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. She wouldn't. She would never.
No, she's too
She's met her mom.
No, right? No, yeah. No, but I was total opposite than you for, like, the first time ever in terms of, like, Avery and going to college. I was getting goosebumps. I felt bad. I felt really sad in that scene with the stupid red and green light that kept blinking back and forth, that they kept zooming in on in the rain, and it was just so depressing. And I was like, I hope one of them goes on the plane with her. I mean...
Yeah, we don't even know if they went. I'm assuming they probably went.
I'm so proud of her. I think she's going to be so excited.
No, I mean, I think it's great for her, but it was a sad scene. It was one of the few scenes that was sad.
Yeah,
college experience.
Yeah, well, and I think that they show that. I mean, and I think it's good to show. And I mean, for us, we were talking about, our experiences leaving home for that first time to go to college. And I think that that's kind of the nice thing, because viewers of sort of all ages, as parents or as children, can relate to their side of what they've been through, and some people actually have now been through both sides of that. And it would be interesting to talk to somebody that's left home and then gone. Well, I guess Ramona kept trying to talk about it, and he was like, it's not the same as when you went to college, Mom.
Yeah, that was funny, actually.
I felt the same way with my dad. I'm like, Dad, you went to college for 6 weeks. You can't talk about when you were in college.
Oh my God. Well, Dental school is college.
No, my dad didn't go to dental school.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So
Oh, I thought you.
he makes teeth. He's not a dentist.
Oh.
He works with dentists.
Oh,
he works
okay.
with dentists.
That's really
yeah.
cool though. They make teeth. Wow.
But yeah, I think we can all side and say that it's going to college, anyone going away for even an extended period of time. Like she said, it's not camp where she's coming back in a few weeks. This is 4 or 5 years of her being somewhere, for
Maybe forever.
It's a major life.
If it's the way you're
forever,
saying she'll find this
exactly.
new life, she'll be like, I ain't never coming back.
Exactly. Just warning out there, all parents, don't let your children travel one-way tickets around the world because you never see them again.
Yeah, says the girl that's traveled
I was
everywhere.
gonna say from first-hand
She had
experience.
exactly. God, where have you not been? Is the real question.
Just doing the Aussie walkabout.
Yeah, right. All right. So then next scene we
love
see
that.
is the sentimental scene. I know all of us felt a little guilty if we've ever said anything about Aviva after watching this scene. It was a beautiful scene. Being from Boston, I remember.
Do you remember
watching.
Heather? Do you remember?
I do.
the
She
story?
looks
Yeah.
familiar. I remember there were so many that they did a lot of little intimate. They'd go back to the hospital many
One-on-ones and
times.
stuff.
Yeah. I didn't look at her just now. I don't know if I didn't look her up to see if she was the same woman, but she reminded me of a woman that was from a certain part of it's called the North End in Boston. And I don't know if that's her. I'm going to find out. But regardless, oh my gosh, it was just so sad when I think back. It was only a year ago, a little more than a year ago.
Crazy.
I really
It feels
enjoy
like so much longer.
I really enjoy seeing Aviva's work with that charity. It's called A Step Ahead, and I mean we saw it last season, or not last season. Well, yeah, last season, just 2 years ago, with the little boy. Remember, of a little boy that was having issues.
Yes, he was running, right?
And he was running, and it was the first time that he was. I mean, it was just like I remember crying in that episode and stuff.
Yeah.
And so this is really, really great for her charity to bring light to it, to what they're doing. And like she said, this girl is getting a free leg.
Yeah.
And those are, and as we saw 2 years ago, those are expensive.
Oh, they're ridiculous,
for something. And I mean, obviously we understand why, but I mean. I feel like everyone that's an amputee should get one. It shouldn't matter. You should get it for free because of something that amazing.
Of course,
like
I
feel
know.
like there should never be a cost for something like that. Like it should should just be automatically given to you. You deserve that.
No, of course. They had a lot of is it fundme.com? GoFundMe,
or something
like that, yeah.
So many people from Boston had those funds online to get the legs, and at the time I didn't even know how expensive. But when you watch them in the hospitals, when they had these back and forth on CNN, they would show how they're doing and how they're progressing. And one woman was a dancer, just not to go off topic, but just saying they're just so strong. It's amazing. Like this woman today was just she was so strong. What? She's falling
Keep
over.
singing. I just feel keep going down.
Courtney wrecked the moment.
I know.
But I'm saying she was very strong, and I think that she has she's a survivor.
To piggyback that, I think it's amazing that our world, can sort of unite like that. That we have the internet, which can be used for things maybe that aren't as great, but that can be something that brings people together and that lets them do that. And it's, Maria went back. Maria Menounos is our co-founder, but because she's from Boston, and actually it was making me think that we have a lot of people here at AfterBuzz that are from Boston. And
Huge
it's
Boston clan.
we're sitting with one right now. And I just think how cool that is because I remember them talking about going back, 1 year later, Maria, I know, went back and did some interviews again to just see how things are going. And it's, I don't know, I just think that that's really cool that Aviva can get involved, and that we don't see that. I do think it was interesting, again, we see her in the episode, but not with the Housewives.
We hardly even see her in any.
I
yes, she
know,
wasn't
you're
going to
right.
be invited to Carol's party, but
Yeah.
And I posted that thing last week, guys, about Andy's explanation about why, but it still doesn't meet up. Where was? She's barely been in
She was
any
in
of
one
them.
scene last week, and it was just so Sonia could give her some
And this
awful
week it was
news. And it was so staged, we talked about, but
Oh, they didn't follow up with that this week. What the heck was that?
And then
Coming
this
back for next week's episode, obviously.
Yeah, but
they finally have them all
Someone's
together.
going to throw the leg.
Hopefully it's Aviva. Hopefully
Maybe it's not even her leg. Maybe it's somebody. Would there be
Who the heck else has-
I don't know. But maybe they're just trying to create this, and then we're gonna come to the episode. And you're just kidding. She's just so cute over here. She's
singing
just literally
again?
Singing every time I look at her.
Oh my God, you are singing!
Sorry, they're freaking out right now.
Welcome to my world.
But
The petites here.
maybe genuinely it's somebody else. I don't know how there would be another leg at the party, but maybe they've been creating this drama the whole time, and there really is no other. Maybe it's really not Aviva's leg.
There we go, Lyndsey has just given us our number one prediction, guys. There is other legs in the season finale. On that note.
All right, so then we go into changing the subject. Okay, the brunette devil in disguise. Who the heck is that? So Sonia finds out she has a brunette devil in
her inner circle. But here's the thing.
It's like, is it Carol? No.
But it's probably not even one of the women on the show.
Oh, it's so Luann. Look what happened.
Okay, well,
Henry and Harry and everything.
Maybe that's why they edited that way, though.
Maybe that's why
they edited it that way.
It's Luann.
I mean, because otherwise it's Heather. If it's in the group, it's Heather or Luann. Because he said it wasn't Carol.
And look what's happened.
But she also said, is it a blonde? And
he said no.
He kind of was hesitant. And she goes, is it a brunette? And he goes, she asked if it was a blonde. And he said no. But then she goes, is it a brunette? But he never really gave an answer. So it could be a brunette. It could be a redhead. It could be, not that they have any inner circle redheads or something like that.
But it's like,
but it could be anyone.
I know what you're saying. Her inner circle's not just people on the show.
No, because like look at Aviva.
And maybe it's Pickles, her assistant.
Oh my god.
It literally could be anyone.
Yeah. I don't want to like spoil the party, but I'm not a big like believer in that sort of card reading thing. So
I am, but I think it's so like generic. Like when
that's
they say,
why, because
your financial things are going to be better,
guys. When it's filmed for TV,
Well, exactly.
you're going to pull out.
They could have told him what to say.
Except for the fortune teller who said that Ramona was
crazy.
Be cheated on.
Yeah.
that was real. Can't handle this right now.
Yeah, but in America right now,
a producer insider joke because they all knew too as well.
That's true.
There's so many things. Plus, it's like you could guess that you're going to be cheated on in any couple, and you've got like a 70% chance of being right.
Just kidding.
Stop laughing at me. I'm getting shorter. The struggle is real.
I apologize, guys. We're really sorry. We've got to pull ourselves together, but this is extremely funny. We're just watching our co-host Courtney here literally just keep on. It's like someone's playing
One
that
of the
elevator
guests
game.
on the last show must have broke the chair.
No, I can't. Okay. All right. Okay.
So then the birthday party.
We're at the party.
Okay. Why were we / masquerade party? Because they had the masks.
So it was a Garden of Eden party, good versus evil. We do know that, but the masquerade theme. So okay, you guys stop. I can't. I'm trying.
I'm gonna stand in a second.
Okay, so Garden of Evil party, good versus evil. Garden of Eden, good versus evil. Everyone in this masquerade costumes. Stop. And so we see the women coming in. Kristen comes in looking flippin' stunning in her black dress with
oh my god,
and the ponytail and the extensions. Girl was looking top, like
it was like
$1 billion.
Madonna.
You go get back on the runway now, girlfriend.
Oh my gosh,
right?
I'm
gorgeous.
sorry, Josh. I know you're a businessman, but honey, be thankful.
He
that you also
outkicked
have
his
that
coverage
amazing-
right there.
I mean,
yeah.
when was it in like the previews for next week when she's like, "Sorry, model wife in the corner. Hello."
Like stunning. I actually really.
Josh, poo. That's for you.
No, totally. She looked like she was 20. She was stunning. I also loved Ramona's dress with the ruffles. I don't know if you guys caught it. There was white and black ruffles. The black dress had a really high slit and then had all these ruffles going
missed
down.
that.
And it was
Carol.
gorgeous.
Oh my gosh.
Ruffles again.
50 years old.
I really like
and she is
Sonia's.
banging.
I liked it
Was it
too
a
for what I
mint
saw.
green too?
It was like a light blue, I think.
I thought it was just like a cream.
It was really pretty.
I thought they all had to wear black or white, and then Carol came in red.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Hard with the lighting, you can't really tell, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah,
but
it was right, yeah.
They all showed up.
Gorgeous. Heather's dress.
I didn't love Heather's hair.
I didn't like Heather's dress.
I didn't like Heather's dress. She
I
looked
didn't
like she
either.
was
And
on top
usually
of
we're a
cake.
big fan of her hair.
Always.
Of her dress.
Both.
Dresses.
But it's one of those where it's like, maybe it's just because she was so busy planning the party that, it wasn't.
I think she
What
thought it was.
did you girls think about the party itself? Do you think Heather
I
did a good
loved
job
where
planning?
it was. I loved the twinkle
The location
lights.
for the Garden of Eden was perfect.
I thought it was so gorgeous. Honestly, it looked like a very intimate part of like a nice club that you just like at the back of like a really nice
Was it
club.
inside? It was
gorgeous.
outside, right?
Yeah.
Outside the
Okay.
restaurant, yeah.
Gorgeous.
I liked it. I mean, if I was wanting a party, that wouldn't be the theme I would choose. But, it looked like, based on all of the things that we heard Heather talking about wanting, Carol wanting, telling Heather, it seemed like Heather nailed them all.
Carol's quirky.
Except for the singer, I guess.
And the snake. They nixed the snake.
But I
because you
mean,
can't have a snake in
I
a
am
restaurant.
always in favor of nixing the snake because I don't like. I can't.
But Heather's
That
quirky
comes up
like
often
that.
for
Like
you, Courtney,
everything.
doesn't it?
She said the headless
pictures of snakes and all.
mannequins. And
What?
she said headless mannequins and weird-haired mannequins.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was
weird.
exactly what she wanted.
I loved it.
And
though.
she said so. So I was glad that
It was sexy.
after everything was said and done, that Carol was happy because she clearly has a type A control freakness to her
The breast.
as well. Oh my gosh,
Well, wait.
love
what about
that.
Luann?
I know we have to. I want to. Yeah.
Jax.
Okay, so we knew this happened because I think you and I learned the first when we spoke to Carol. Was it when Carol gave it the
That
phone
first
call?
week that we spoke to Carol?
We learned about it then, I believe, but when we were shocked, and I mean, we all learned about it. Whoever was watching, and we didn't have the exclusive on it. I'm sure other people knew about it, but they were not together. And we've been waiting for this to happen. We knew it was going to come out at some point, but it's so sad because it sounds so much like he dumped her the way she's talking about it. She's like, he's my best friend, he's my everything. She's just like starts crying. She's saying they're not on the same page. I don't know what you guys thought. I immediately went to last season when the Italian and the pirate and all that, and maybe he rewatched it and maybe it really bothered him, and maybe.
But do you really think 2 years later? I mean, that
See,
was 2 years
I
ago.
Was it
think
two
she was
years?
dumb.
It was 2 years ago.
But do you think
2
that was the
years ago.
start of it, maybe, and that just kind of like made him not trust her as much?
It may have been the start.
She said it was a while.
It's hard to say.
that's
I
been
don't
happening.
think that. I feel like it was honestly more mutual. That it was sort of like we love each other enough to let each other live the life we want, even if it means losing one another. Because, just from the few things she said, and obviously it's been going on for months, there's so much more to it probably than whatever actually presents itself at the surface. But that's to me just from my own experiences being in those situations and getting to that point where it's like maybe just love isn't enough and it can't conquer all in this situation, and it's heartbreaking to think that and to kind of have to accept that reality. But to me that's what it felt like and looked like, that it was just that. It was just
She said a good
love isn't
sentence
enough.
where she said, "I love him, but I don't love the relationship."
no,
And
that was he said that.
He said that.
Oh, he said that.
He said
They've
that.
been in touch.
that's right,
And yeah.
And she said that's good to know then. They said, well, that's good that you know that.
I mean, that's a pretty bold, strong statement.
And she's like, so that also indicates to like what we've actually been dealing with behind closed doors, because for him not to miss the relationship
Well,
because of that.
She also said they're both going in separate directions.
Yeah.
Now, I understand when people say that at like our age, because there's so many different avenues that we can go in our 20s and 30s. We settle down, career, babies, whatever it is. I feel like that changes a little bit when you're in your 50s or 60s, or I don't think she's in her 60s.
50s.
But 50s.
He's probably in his
He might
40s
be.
though.
But
You think so?
He's younger.
Well, she made the comment about, I want to give him the opportunity to have a family.
Right.
And she's not interested in any more children at all.
Well, they were
she might not be able to have them.
Wasn't she inquiring about it? Like she was like going to go to the doctor. She was going to look into it or something.
Sounds like all housewives want to do that, Orange County.
Yeah, it
Well,
does seem like that.
Tamara, just had that fake baby that they brought in for a
She
couple
decided
weeks.
she didn't want to
She's
after
like,
it.
screw this.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going back through that, yeah.
But
sorry,
I
continue.
guess definitely think that then if that's the case where he wants a family and she's maybe not interested in that anymore, then I can see that being a separate direction. But I mean, for the most part, it seemed like they were on the path of what they both wanted. They were both, liked being out on the town and traveling and being in the Hamptons and stuff. That it felt like everything was in a row for them. So it's
They got along with their kids. They all spoke French at home.
It definitely felt like a really good, strong relationship. And like she said, this was someone that she's been with for 4 years.
Yeah.
So it's not just somebody that's been around for the time being. It's definitely sad to see. And maybe it might be one of those things where they take their time apart and realize that, we really are perfect for each other, and you can come back and be stronger and work out all those issues and be in a relationship that you're happy being in the relationship.
and not have those wonderings of, do I want a family?
Yeah.
Do whatever it is that they need, and if they don't, because it's just because they're not together now and they can't have a strong, good relationship now, I mean, I do think that they probably had some really solid years, and that at some point that direction, people started to realize, maybe he started to realize, maybe I do want a family, and he didn't think he did. And so, because for men, I feel like almost at any age you can still consider that option.
I know, right?
Hello, Aviva's dad.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
to where for him, there isn't a, like, for guys, there just isn't that same rush of time because they can help make the
urgency.
Healthy baby.
They have no maternity
forever.
clock,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Usually ticking. Usually, they still can, not be able to.
Yeah, and
some
she's just so
point.
hurt. She's so hurt. I just feel like in a perfect world she could fix this, but I feel like it's more on his end than hers, and she has to accept that he's not in the same place that they were.
I hope
Right.
he comes
Maybe
back.
ago.
I really like
That would be amazing.
I know.
How much did you guys love Carol being like, cry if you want to?
It's my birthday, and you can cry if I want to.
And then Luann's so mature. She has a really
Considerate.
So considerate. She's like, Heather, the party looks beautiful. You did amazing. She's
Etiquette.
trying to
Etiquette.
Well, but
Yeah.
even on top of that, I mean, when somebody comes and asks you what's wrong and you're fighting tears and you're fighting emotion, the first thing you do is like start bawling. At least me, So
Yeah.
it's like the last thing you want somebody to do when it's like simmering right here is
all
to
on
be
the surface.
asked what's wrong. Or
Yeah.
so it's one of those where it's like the last thing she wants to talk about is that because she doesn't want to cry at the party, and she probably doesn't really want to talk about it, and she knows it's not the place, and so it's like she's being polite, and it's also sort of like the saving grace of helping keep composure. At least that's what I would do.
If Sonia took that same
I was just
chapter out of her
gonna
book,
say that
but
exactly. What the heck was
Woman.
that? Like, God.
Why does
That was
it have
so
to be about
mean.
you? She literally came at her and was like, but he's fabulous. He, like getting mad at Luann because they broke up. How is it?
It was so mean. It was like, and
It's
I didn't
just off the
understand
planet.
why. Even with going back with what you just said, Courtney, how. Like she was on the verge of tears, and like then they said something else, and it kind of made her go. Even when they were like, "Oh my gosh, but you lit up! You were so lit up whenever you were with
Ramona.
him." Yeah, it was like,
Ramona.
guys, you should be saying right now, you don't need him. You need to like build up strength in her.
Don't rub it in.
Or like,
Yeah.
like we'll go, we'll go to lunch next week
Yeah,
or something,
girls' day.
or
Right.
just something to just change the topic. Let her know you're there for her, you care, and then change the topic and let it be about something else.
Sonia and Ramona, their characters, the people that they are.
Yeah. Sonia was just so pissed though. She's like, I can't believe she didn't tell me. I said this, and this.
And
crazy.
I'm like, Sonia, you've had enough of a night, like with Harry, and everything that's going on with that, and the commitment that he's trying to make for you, with you. It's like, can't you just like be in your own little fantasy world with him for one night, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like,
But she's had this issue with Luann now for a couple weeks, coming back to Montana and them kind of having a little bit of beef, and the facialist issue. So I think both of them right now are just kind of
butting heads.
Do you
knocking.
think Sonia's just making up something because she just wants to
Absolutely.
vent stuff out? And so she.
Sure.
I mean, she made that up.
and she-
I've never seen any friend like that go and, when you've been dumped, you're broken up with your boyfriend or something like that, and they get mad at you.
Oh my gosh, Luann
because
would
you
have
didn't
every-
tell them that
But yet-
you were having problems.
And he says all the other girls knew. They just found out then you were off
Exactly.
sucking face with Harry. Sorry. But you were making out with Harry getting your rings in the corner. You found out 2 minutes later. If you weren't there, you would have heard.
And so what do we think about Harry giving Sonia the ring?
I mean, I thought it was a little bit. It was a little bit forced just because they were just talking about how they kind of wanted to keep it under the radar, like they didn't want to make a big deal of it. And then he's like at the party with the
Doing
giant
it.
ring right in front of everybody. It's like,
But not an engagement ring.
right?
No.
No.
So
Don't talk about
I
it.
need to know what this ring is actually called then, because I need to tell my boyfriend that ring exists.
Why you love it?
Because
Did you love it?
No,
pre-engagement
not that specific ring, but
Promise
the
ring,
sentiment
isn't
of
it?
it, where it's.
Don't you
I
guys call
thought
it
like a promise ring was like promising to save yourself
Yeah, I thought
for
that
each
was
other.
what you were like.
Oh no, it
Which
could
they're
be.
clearly not doing.
No. It could be promise ring, like promise to be together, but like it's not that.
Yeah.
It's
See,
not that
I feel
serious.
like it's not a promise. I feel like it's more than a promise
yeah.
ring. It's like
It's a pre-engagement ring.
Pre-engagement ring.
Except it didn't look
Okay.
anything like an engagement ring.
No, well, because it can't, because you're
Yeah.
going to get an engagement ring.
No, right. But I'm saying it's like it's a ring that it's kind of stands out. I mean, it's
She
like
didn't. She put on her middle finger.
Yes.
I thought that was interesting.
And then she put it in her bag and took it off.
Yeah. Right after.
What the heck?
It's not like
that rude?
No, but it's not like it's a giant ring like right on her ring finger that looks like an engagement ring that would
People
pull
actually
out.
question. Yeah.
Right.
That was very fashionable. I mean, they didn't actually give us a great shot of it.
No.
Maybe it was big. You know, because it looked
big.
like it was actually big on her middle finger,
It looked
too.
like a flower
So
or
maybe,
something.
but
Yeah.
maybe the size of the ring was big and it needed to be sized. So instead of sticking it on her ring finger, where her ring finger's obviously smaller than her middle finger, it fit better. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe
be.
there was.
Well, it doesn't matter regardless. She took it off.
She took it off and put it in her
she put it
purse.
on.
And she didn't say it's because it was too big.
No, she didn't.
It's
But
because she was scared, or or they cut that part out where she said it's because it's too big.
I find no reason at all for her to have taken that off.
No.
I can't think of
Agreed.
one reason. Even for the
Agreed.
cameras, I'm like, it's not even really. It's just confusing.
I liked Ramona with Sonia though, being like, I'm glad that we were, Harry needed to step up and he needed to do this, so it needed to happen.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, are you sinking again?
Am I?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm
trying
we
to
have
sit
move
tall.
to predictions.
Predictions on that. Yeah.
Let's move to predictions.
Well, on that note, though,
I predict next week my chair will not sink.
do we think that was all editing,
Your
girls?
AfterBuzz
Predictions.
TV.
Well, did they really get it? Luann and Harry get in the taxi? Did they go home together?
Yeah, because we see.
I think they shared a taxi.
We see flirting. We see Harry obviously going up to Luann, telling her how beautiful she is, and flirting with her. And then they leave together, and Sonia's looking for Harry, and he's nowhere to be found. And we see Sonia talking to Ramona, saying he left with Luann, and they get into a big fight. So do we really think that she left with Harry?
Nope.
I think they maybe shared a taxi, but that doesn't mean they had sex in the taxi.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Like they left at the same time. They may have shared a taxi, but they did not leave. Like she did not leave with Harry.
Weird that he didn't say bye to her.
Yeah, he didn't say goodbye
to
to
Sonia.
Yeah.
That's
so
messed up.
He just gave her a ring, and he's not even going to say
if
goodbye.
They came together. Like if you bring a woman to an event, you take her home.
True that.
I don't care who's home, but you don't leave somebody you brought with you there unless it's like you're talking and you've decided not to go home together, but you don't just. So I think there's more to it. I think it was edited to look like Luann and Harry left together. Even
though that's not true. And we also see Kristen and Josh saying he's looking for a younger woman.
that there's like things she could do to be younger.
She could do be younger.
What could she possibly do, Josh? I would love to hear
She can
this.
start doing, she said she hasn't done the Botox and the plastic surgery yet.
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna make her look better.
I don't think that's what he wants.
She's gonna be one of those people that he wants to probably get a boob job.
Yeah.
Like she has everything else in place, and not to say that her boobs aren't, but
No, yeah.
He's
a guy.
What guy doesn't?
I'm just looking forward to Heather getting back like when we did the opening couple of first episodes. She's getting a Puff Diddy and it looks like she...
Puff Diddy, I love you.
Ghetto star!
All right.
She's gonna go off. I'm looking forward to that.
Where can we find you, you
What's
cute
wrong
little
with
thing?
Puff Diddy?
Where can we find you
P
next
Diddy
week?
or Puff Daddy.
Puff
It's okay.
So Puff Diddy
It's
is
okay.
perfect.
Puff Diddy, where can we find
Find
you?
me, Twitter at Host McGrath or on YouTube at Host Stephanie McGrath.
And you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner. That's LYNDSEYWEGNER. And my blog, lyndseyWegner.blogspot.com.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at COUHEN.
And you can find me at Miss Ashley Daniels on Twitter and Instagram. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.